Time's up, Hadron.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass. So I don't like the look of this D. Listen, I don't need gay or straight boner pills. My boner works just fine.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I want to see movies! I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back after a day off, which I didn't choose to have a day off. Welcome back to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the chat, the gatekeepers, you're in charge. You're supposed to be steering this ship, and you do. You support this sinking ship all the time, and I appreciate that. Happy to be back, guys. I took the day off yesterday because I had to go do stuff, and things happened, and I'll get into that in a second. I hope you guys are doing all right, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year right back to you, Arturo. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas to you, Arctic. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. And we're going to talk about that in a minute because, yeah, it is Christmas time, and Christmas miracles do happen. They do. They really do. I'll tell you now. So yesterday, no show yesterday because I had to go out and do real world shit. I had to go do shit. I live in a state where every year you have to get your car inspected. Got to get your car inspected. Get a little sticker on the car that says their car is safe to be on the road. And I understand, but it's just a way for a lot of people to, one way, make money. But two, also, secondly, if your car doesn't meet inspection standards, you get a little sticker on it that says rejected. And then, of course, if it's rejected, you have to get everything that was wrong with it fixed in order to get it approved and not get your tickets and cars and towed or whatever. Because of the fascistic county I live in, even though I'm on private property, a particular towing service can come by, and if my car doesn't meet the standards, they can tow my car, even though I'm getting to it. So yesterday, I went to get my car inspected, along with other things related to driving and get my license renewed and all that kind of crap. And my car failed inspection. My car failed inspection yesterday. Now, sometimes when that happens, it's minor things. I've had it happen before. It's the third time in my life that a car has failed inspection. And yesterday, and this is legit. It's not as though my new garage guys, my new car guys were screwing me over because it literally is the requirements for the state inspection. Without the nitty-gritty details, because I am not a car guy. I am not a car person. And frankly, I came to conclusions today. I hate cars. I hate cars. Cars are terrible. But I'll come back to that in a second. I got hit alongside just for the regular oil change and the cost of the inspection, which I did have to pay yesterday. I got hit with essentially a $2,700 bill yesterday. In order to fix everything that's wrong with my car, to bring it up to code so that it doesn't get towed, I don't get tickets, I don't get fines and all that kind of shit, I needed $2,700 to get it fixed. You guys know I don't have that kind of money. I don't. I barely make rent every month with a little left over just as a safety net after bills and food and stuff like that. I what was I going to do? I nearly collapsed when that happened. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, I could max out the remainder of my credit cards and maybe just get enough to get it done. So they had financing, but there's no guarantee the financing would let me have it. No guarantee. Because what's my job? YouTuber. So I was in a pickle. I didn't know what to do. My mom didn't know what to do. We were going to have to think it out, talk it out, figure it out. And in the midst of all that, I went and got my license renewed so that I don't get pulled over and get in trouble for that shit. That was another $32 too, by the way. $32 to get my license renewed. Thanks, state that I live in. Then I came home, and my instincts told me go home for a minute. First to negotiate something with the front office there, even though that fell apart. And then I came up here, and I thought, all right, let's see. Because my thought was, I'm going to try and put as much of this on the credit card with the most room on it, just to try and soften the blow for the financing. So I come up here, wash my hands, computer, boot it up. Because I still had other shit to do, because then I had hours to kill, because I had a lot of stuff I still needed to do, but I had little time to kill. So come here and boot up the computer, bring up the credit card that has the most remaining credit limit. And a Christmas miracle happened. Now, I pay my credit card bill at the same time every month, right in the middle of the month. And I paid this one a couple weeks ago, like I always do. And it was the same as it always was. Room, plenty of room, but no, it's the emergency room, which is what this is probably going to be used for. And this is why I say I believe in Christmas miracles. Out of nowhere, this particular credit card raised my credit limit by $3,000. Now, of course, I am now going deeper into debt today. I'm going to go deeper into debt Monday when I go and get this. But there it is. There it was. The ability to get my car fixed out of nowhere. I didn't request a credit increase. 2 weeks ago when I paid my bill, it was the normal way it was. And here it was. I opened it up and boom. There it was. So that's a miracle, because it's one thing to increase my debt on my credit card, but you know what? That's manageable debt. That is manageable debt right there, which I know the payments. It's a lot easier to budget things and make sure the payments get done than dealing with a new financing, a new out of nowhere source of debt, a source of relief for financing for the card fix, where I don't know what their rates are going to be. I don't know what the payment's going to be. It could be $300 a month. I wouldn't have that either. So at least with my credit card, it's something I can manage. But there it is. I believe in Christmas miracles. This was a Christmas miracle. This saved my car because I need my car. My mom needs my car. And I don't know what I would have done. Would have been tough. But there it is. Debt I can manage. My credit card, I know how to manage paying down my credit card, which I do every month. I don't really I only use my credit cards to try and soften blows on things. I don't use it to buy shit. So there it is. And they have high ratings because, things happened, things like fixing the car last time jacks it up there. So so there it is. And oh man, Jed, you don't have to do this, man. I know you don't have to do this, but Jed, Endless Frontiers for $4.99, even though he is a soulless ginger. What's your price to make a DW Christmas special tier list? Just something for fun and Christmas to do. DW? What's DW? I don't know your acronym there. Brain not working. Special Christmas tier list. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna keep the tiers we have it for now. Doctor Who. Oh. I can't do that. I've only seen them all once, maybe in one case twice. I can't pull off a Doctor Who Christmas tier list. I can't do it. I don't have the I don't have the experience you do. I can't do it. I haven't seen them enough to rate them. Good idea, but I can't do it. I can't do it. It would not be legitimate. It would not be legitimate. Oh, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, thank you, Jed, for the $5. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kratos, I know. I suffer that on my other credit card, which has been terminally locked. I can never really pay it down because I don't make enough, and sometimes it needs to be used for rich situations. But it is, it's terrible. I mean, I don't make enough money. The channel has not grown to the point where it's holding things up. But yeah, so I know it's a dangerous game, but it's a game that me and many other people are playing these days. Those of us who do not do that. I called him a soulless ginger. Not a violation. You guys got a few days left of this before I go back to normal. Anyway, but yeah, thank you, Jed, for the $5. And also, guys, thank you everybody who continues to support the channel, helping it grow. We had a good week this week. My Ryan Johnson video from earlier in the week actually did really well. And then at the same time, if you haven't watched it, go watch my first review of Fallout Season 2. It's up. It's been up a couple days now. I wonder if people even care. But and remind you, I'm not a Fallout guy, so it's probably missing some key analytical parts. But it's a straight up down review of the episode, and we'll be there for that every week. Anyway, so but yeah, so Christmas miracles, I believe in them. Gonna get my car fixed on Monday. We'll still have the show on Monday. We will not be skipping a day because they have a shuttle service. Shuttle service. So they'll ship me back here, and I'll probably go pick up the car after the show because I'm going to drop it off early in the morning so that it gets done as soon as possible. Anyway. All right. So I also, just to round out that conversation, I've decided I hate cars. And let me explain why. I hate cars because they're these items that we all need. They're too expensive to buy. And the upkeep is too expensive. When they break, it costs so much to get them fixed. And it costs so much to keep them on the road. Keep it going. I hate cars. I've decided that. I am not someone that loves to look at cars. They get uglier and uglier. There's no space in them. They add features that we don't fucking need. I hate cars. I really do. I've decided I hate cars. They're a necessary evil, but I hate them. They cost too much money on all angles. I wish we had Star Trek teleporters where I could just teleport and get everything I need and bring it home like that. I gotta go shopping, gotta go do stuff. And I ain't doing delivery. I ain't trusting somebody to shop for me. I shop for myself. Because just think, you gotta understand, when you shop for produce, you have to know what you're looking for. You ask somebody to do it, they're just gonna grab any old fucking thing and toss it in there. You got to shop for yourself. But I wish there was a better option. Wish there was, but there isn't. I hate cars. I hate them. It costs too much money. I have a serious PTSD over car trauma now. Every time I take my car in, and this proved it yesterday. Every time I take the car in for something, I'm always afraid something bad's going to happen. Yesterday was the worst. I've never had a bill of $2,700 for it. Now, I think these guys, the new guys I go to, I think they're a little more costly than my last guys, but they seem to be legitimate because they showed me everything. They didn't, and they didn't hose me, but it shit costs too much money. I fucking hate it. And I got to get out of the state. Now, granted, here's the problem too with that. Because it's an inspection, I have to get everything fixed at once. I couldn't break it down into manageable pay times to fix. Like, let's fix this one, then we'll come back and fix this one a little bit later. No, it has to all get done at once in order to make the car inspection worthy. So, no, we don't sing on drive-in, and I'm not singing yet. My voice is still a little shaky, so I'm not gonna sing on during karaoke tonight. I'm not doing that. I'm still, my voice is still a little bit iffy, so I'm not doing that. Yeah. And also, fuck them up at Christmas Carol. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, all right. So, what do we got today? We're gonna do a little catch up. We'll do a little catch up today since I didn't do anything yesterday. Some of the stuff I talk about probably today will be a little bit of crossover from yesterday. But what could I do? I had to make up for lost time. And also, before we go any further, I got this one from Kratos during the day off. Where is it? Where did it go? There it is. Kratos for $20. Play this on Friday. Do not open until the next show. So now I'm going to click on the link that he put in there. And oh yeah, I heard about these. People are people are doing best movies of 2025 rankings and games radar. Kratos wants me to react to the games radar. So we'll come back to this one. We'll come back to that one after the news segment. So that counts as like basically a news segment we're covering. It's an article I haven't seen. So thank you, Kratos, for the $20. I'm going to do that as well. All right. So what are we going to do? We got news. I got a couple things, and the rules remain the same. It is, as usual, $10 to order an Adam rant on just about anything. Sometimes you get them for free, but sometimes you can make them happen. $15, ask me a question. I'll tell you no lies on pop culture topics, usually fun nerd shit. $15, choose an article, as Kratos just did. We gave a little extra, but that's okay. I'll accept the extra bonus. $50, choose an article from the news segment that I'll go over. First hot take without any prep time. And then, of course, $35 get you chat. Made me watch his reviews, one of which we have today. Kel had me watch Nicolas Cage's Lord of War, based on the real life of one of the most notorious arms dealers in the world, in history. So we will go in chat, maybe watch his reviews after that, after these news segment. There we go. And of course, we do have the tier list. The tier list. To be merry, be a Grinch tier. Every $100, be merry or be a Grinch. And if we get another, what was it? Another $55, I have to be married to somebody else. Another $90, and I have to be Grinch somebody else for the next, let's see, tonight, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So another 6 days of this particular tier. And then as of Thursday, Christmas Day, I'm back to normal, or technically Friday, since I don't have any joint streams on Thursday. But I'll be posting whether or not we're gonna have a Christmas Day stream or not. But I'm gonna do that next week. Leave that for next week. So another 6 days of this particular tier. So get in on it. And yes, one can reverse the other. Currently, I have to be the merriest I can be to my bestest buddy in the world, Jeremy. I have to be a Grinch to the man who I'm convinced now is only here to siphon off my life energy, Jed the Ginger. Kratos, who continually tries to get me in trouble. I think his plan is to undo all the good work I do in the world. And then, of course, the shaved furry weasel. And yes, I'm repeating jokes because I only have so many. And it's been a week. All right, so there it is, guys. There's the rules. We're gonna play by them. Oh, no, don't open that. No. Okay, there we go. Don't want to open that app. All right, so ha, you son of a bitch. Anyway. All right, so let me see. Drink. Okay, so I do have a couple of things I want to talk about. First, yesterday was an anniversary. That's the wrong one. Hang on. Professional YouTuber here, folks. Yesterday. No. Dang it. There we go. Yesterday was an anniversary. December 18th, it was an anniversary that I didn't know was an anniversary. In fact, only a select few people consider it an anniversary. In fact, it was the beginning of the end for Star Wars. What am I talking about? Apparently, yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens. That's right, folks. The moment Disney proved they had no concept of what to do with Star Wars. And Variety put this out. And funny thing is, Variety put this out. The Disney Star Wars account, the official Star Wars account, didn't say anything. Variety was the one that kicked it off. Star Wars The Force Awakens opened in theaters 10 years ago and brought the galaxy far, far away into a social media age. The Force Awakens may now have passed the threshold of nostalgia. Nostalgia for a time when a legacy sequel could still evoke something special. When event cinema still brought people out to the theater. When the line between a theatrical and streaming release was not as nebulous. And when franchises could deliver fan service with quality rather than quantity. There is so much wrong with this statement. So much wrong. First of all, there is no nostalgia for this. 10 years in, there's still only hate and bitterness. And I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Hold on a second. Hate and bitterness by a fan base scorned. A real fan base scorned. But unfortunately, at the same time, The Force Awakens birthed a stand base, a fake fan tourist population that thought they were the Star Wars fans, that they were the fans that inherited what we helped hold up for 30 years. And god awful. God awful. That is true, though. There was event cinema to go see it, but it was cloaked with essentially everybody went to see this movie with beer goggles on. They were caught up in the actual nostalgia of true Star Wars, people who didn't read the EU, people who didn't play the video games and thought, oh, this is the first Star Wars I've gotten in forever. Great, I'm so excited. And J.J. Abrams, the biggest con man in cinema history, conned millions of people. Millions of people. So yes, it was event cinema, and it was a movie of shallow fan service, which quickly ended in fan disservice by killing off Han Solo in Disney Star Wars, by cucking Luke Skywalker eventually, by elevating Rey and really bringing forth the meme of the Mary Sue. The meme of a Mary Sue, the idea of a Mary Sue had existed for a long time. But it is not until Rey that it became a commonplace term because she so aptly filled that role. But here it is. Variety put this up yesterday, and real fans just poo-pooed this. No, this was a day of doom. It was the beginning of the end, blah, blah, blah. But the stands are still there. What few of them there are, we'll talk about more of that in a bit. The stands, and I only have a couple of examples because there's too many and they're all the same. But here's a couple of examples perfect. And just to show, again, the insanity of it. Reacting to this, I think it's time for sequel trilogy nostalgia, to be honest. Maybe another 5 years or so, but it's definitely starting, and I'm here for it. No, there is no nostalgia for this. That's the point. This thing is hated. The slight shine, the slight glowiness that Force Awakens had has long since tarnished and become a blight to look at. Nobody is suckered by this anymore, by the tease that, oh, maybe this guy's going to be a Jedi, or maybe this, maybe that maybe Kylo Ren is a good character. No, there is nothing to this. Shallow, empty, hated. So hated that they hired Rian Johnson to destroy it further. We've talked about that recently again. He did it on purpose. So this so-called anniversary is not an anniversary because nobody celebrated it. Star Wars official account on social media didn't even celebrate it. Star Wars YouTube didn't put out anything. It took shills like Variety, shills like Star Wars Holocron to write articles, other shills to write articles celebrating this. Nobody cared. But fake fans do care. This one right here. Rachel, I feel like it's a real shame that the official Star Wars account is ignoring the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, a great Star Wars movie that breathed fresh life into an old franchise and introduced some of the best characters in the saga. First, let's pick apart this statement here. The franchise had been alive for 30 years. George Lucas made billions on it. I mean, that's the funny part of a statement. This shows you what a stand tourist looks like. Anybody that says that Force Awakens breathed fresh life into the franchise, you weren't a real fan. Because the expanded universe, and all the books, comics, and games and other merch that it spawned made George Lucas a billionaire before Disney gave him $4 billion, which they never recouped. So it proves right now this person who calls himself a movie buff, a Star Wars nerd, and co-host of some retarded podcast no one's ever heard of, and a she-her, proud to think the worst of Luke Skywalker since 2017 because that makes you a fake fan. Nobody, no real Star Wars fan in their right mind thinks badly of Luke Skywalker. Nobody does. But then they said this. It's funny to witness the triggering, this triggering the foaming hordes of ST haters. What is ST? What even is ST? Sequel trilogy? Haters? Well, let's see what the horde looks like. Let's click on the original post. Oh, all of 23 people, 83 reposts or quote tweets, and all of 9,826 views. Yeah, that's a horde. That's a real horde of people. I didn't even react to this because it wasn't worth my time. But this is the delusion that someone and that's kind of the point. Somebody like this idiot who thinks that 9,000 people is a horde, they don't understand what a fan base is. They don't understand that this is not a lot of people that gave a damn about your post, but they think that when people give a damn like this, because it reflects the numbers they think mean anything, because that's the kind of numbers that Disney Star Wars generates. Meaningless numbers that don't mean shit. So 10 years later, Force Awakens, if it's left an imprint on pop culture, it's the imprint on how not to work with a franchise. In fact, Disney Star Wars, starting with The Force Awakens, is the blueprint on how to destroy a franchise. Plain and simple. Disney Star Wars sucks, has sucked, does suck, always will suck. And I will be here to catalog its continuing failures. Because guess what? Mandalorian Grogu, in less than a year, will fail. Starfighter, which just finished shooting this week, will fail. Every single Star Wars TV show that'll be crapped out on Disney Plus will fail. Because the real fans have rejected all of this. And all you have left is a stand base that doesn't know how to rub two sticks together and start a fire. All right, we're done here. Disney Star Wars, it does suck. Give me 1 second, a couple of minutes again. Again, thank you for your continued patience as the remnants of my sickie hang on for a little bit longer. I'm pretty much better. It's just my nose is still somewhat congested and it's causing a chain reaction of some of the symptoms still, which is just annoying. But I am better. You could tell. I'm talking normally now. Anyway. All right. So there we go. There's that. Oh no. Kratos for another $35, giving him a second chat, maybe watch his reviews. I've already got you for one for next week for the Grinch. But now, will miracles ever cease? Pay off your credit card by reviewing Star Wars Christmas Special. I need to know if it's worse than The Room. Put this and the last super towards Mary. Okay, so let's update. Thank you, Kratos, you diabolical bastard. Make me watch the Christmas. That's like the one thing of actual Star Wars that is terrible. The Christmas Special. It's god-awful. But I guess I'm going to have to watch it. It's easy to find. It's everywhere. It's not hard to find. So let's update. So that's 35 plus 20 is... let's see. I can do math. 35 plus 20 is 55. And that puts us at... Oh, that's the 200. There it is. Okay, so I have to be married to somebody. Okay. All right. I would say that, Kratos, you had the majority of that one, I believe. So... who am I going to be married to? Who do I have to be married to? Are we going to reverse anything? I'll give you time to think on that one. So that's 200. That's another Mary list for 6 days. Who do I have to be married to? I'll let you think on that one. Anyway, all right. Related news, because this was yesterday's news. I think be married to you. Oh, Jed wants a reversal. Anyway, so at the same time, this is related news. We have been chronicling the failure of the attempt to hunt for Ben Solo. We have several parts to this, so I guess this is what, part 5, part 6? I'd have to go look if I have to go keep track. And what we have here is all right, so wait. I have to be married to the greatest patriot of the world, Dom H. He's a patriot. He saves mankind when he breaks spaghetti. He saves mankind. He's the greatest Italian we know, even though I'm Italian, and I think I'm pretty great. Anyway, back on topic here. Okay, so excuse me. The hunt for Ben Solo is an absolute failure. They can't even get it moving anymore on social media unless they do silly, stupid shit like this. So this happened yesterday. They're upset. Okay, here's how pathetic it is. These people, these stans, they think that doing pathetic, visible billboards and stunts will garner attention. Let's see, what is their latest thing? And they think that New York is the place to go for it. New York, which is in the grips of its own self-destruction, is the place to go to get attention. Well, here was their thing yesterday. I'm going to just bring it up here now. No audio. Don't know, because it's just the sounds of the street. A mobile billboard with the hunt for Ben Solo parked in New York traffic. And notice, nobody even looks at it. Nobody looks at it. This is a joke. This is pathetic. This is sad. Look at this old man walking down the street, gives it a glance, doesn't give a shit. Nobody cares. This is pathetic. This is sad. The hunt for Ben Solo. Save the hunt for Ben Solo. No one's going to save it because nobody cares. I mean, if you had a truly successful, organic, grassroots campaign where people were happy and rolling for this and making it happen, crowds would be gathered around your billboards and your mobile signs and all that shit. People don't care. Even more pathetic when they put it up under another billboard. Coronation, yay! We want Soderbergh and Driver. The campaign has launched its second billboard light, our sister campaign, and their billboard truck in honor of the Force Awakens 10th anniversary. Read all about it on Collider. And here's all the views they got. 1,800 views since yesterday. This is it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're not getting anything. You're getting nothing. Because Disney Star Wars doesn't have a fan base. It has a stan base. It has drooling idiots who amount to nothing. They don't move the needle. They don't buy merch. They spend their money on shit like this instead of spending money on the merch to convince Disney that it's worthwhile. That's the retarded thoughts of these people. I wonder how much longer this is going to go on. These people seem to be deluded. This leads to another thing I want to talk about in a moment. The idea of cope. I know I've talked about cope in the past, but how deluded, how broken, how desperate must you be to think that you live in a world where this is meaningful? It's cope. You're coping with a reality that doesn't exist. And I'll be honest, you put this up there, 9 people out of 10 will have no idea who Soderbergh and Driver are. Normies don't know, nor do they care. We want Soderbergh and Driver. Who? I guarantee Stop any person on the street hoping they speak English in New York City. Ask them, who do they mean by Soderbergh and Driver? They're going to go, get out of my way, asshole. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. These people live in a world where they think Disney Star Wars is successful, that the population at large gives a damn. And that's why I cannot wait for Mandalorian and Grogu, and for Starfighter, and the Rey movie, and every TV show that's on the list coming out in the next year. I cannot wait for these all to come out and to do nothing, to make no money, to not chart any sort of ratings, to have zero impact on social media, except for people like me who are cataloging and writing down all the notes of history, archiving, one would say, the collapse of Disney and the failure of Disney Star Wars. This is a joke. And I'm laughing. Well, it's sarcastic laugh. Pathetic, just pathetic. There's that. Did you think I was going to let that one slip by me? Did you think I was going to let that slip by me? I was not. Anyway, all right. So we're a little caught up on stuff that happened yesterday that I would have talked about yesterday if I had been there. But now, oh, good. Oh, there it is. Okay. For $50, the Soulless Ginger, Kratos beat me to it. It hasn't populated yet. Hang on, it hasn't populated. Let me refresh this real quick. Because the way the thing where it doesn't let me read it completely. Hold on a second. There it is. Kratos beat me to the holiday special. Instead, watch the Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol and compare it to the Muppets. Well, I was going to watch a Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol anyway because I've got it right there. I have it just to prove how much I love it. See? I got it right here. Boom. I own this. It's on my watch list for the week. I'm going to watch it. All right. So watch a Christmas Carol and compare it to the Muppets. Is the rest of this chat enough to get you to quickly, off the cuff, pitch what you think would be the best version of, and why is it doing this, of the Christmas Carol? Off the cuff. Why did it cut it off? Why is Stream Elements doing this to me? Let me pop this out. Hold on a second. Let me pop this out and see if I can make sure I got all the wording there. Best version of the Christmas Carol. Let's see if we can stretch it a little farther here. Of which pitch you think would be the best version of the hunt for Ben Solo? Oh, okay. What would be the best version of the hunt for Ben Solo? Steven Soderbergh. See, Steven Soderbergh. He's a director, Legatus. He's a director. Best for Han Solo. If the chat wants that, they can super chat that. I guess. Sure, I can give you listen. I don't that. You know what? Here's what we'll do. All right, here we go. All right, here. So Jed just gave me an idea. If we're gonna do this, for another, we'll make it on the cheaper side since we already paid for it. For an extra $20 from somebody, I will add an element of the hunt for Ben Solo to the Disney Star Wars fan fiction I have to write. How about that? For an extra $20, we will tack on the hunt for Ben Solo to my Disney Star Wars fanfic that I gotta write next year before Day of Doom. How about that? Is that okay? Is that acceptable? I think that's an acceptable thing. An extra, since you guys already paid for that, this is just an add-on. This was an add-on to it. We'll do an add-on to that. And we'll that will be my answer to what I consider the best version of the hunt for Ben Solo as written by a stan. Remember, I have to write that fanfic as a stan. God, Lord, I have to do that. So don't worry. That's been bumping around in my head a little bit lately because I know as we come into January, I have to get to that. All right. So, So next week, so this was on my watch list anyway for next week. So I'll be doing that, and I'll compare it. All right, so let's see. Here's the watch order. We're gonna try and get all this done in order. Again, I have to blow my nose. Excuse me. This damn whatever it is needs to end. Okay, so here's the order. So Monday, I have to do Jim Carrey's Grinch for Chat Made Watchers Reviews. Tuesday, I have to do the Star Wars Christmas special. And Wednesday, for Christmas Eve. There it is. Because it'll be the last show before we come back on Friday. We will watch. I of course, will be watching and reviewing for that day Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol. And then I will give my review of that. And then we'll compare it to the Muppet Christmas Carol. Because Jed and I will have talked about it tomorrow night on Drive-In. And so I think that's appropriate. I think that fits in nicely. I think it fits in nicely. It works out quite nicely. Quite. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Anyway. All right. Thank you, Jed. You didn't have to, man. You didn't have to. But look. All right. I'll take the penalty for that. I'll take a penalty for that one because I can't tack on an insult after that. All right, we add an hour to Party Animals. It's now 4.5 hours. I take a penalty hit on that one. I can't be mean to him after that one with that statement. I can't do that. So I take a penalty. Party Animals tab is now 4.5 hours. You guys finally got me on a penalty. You finally got me on a penalty. Okay. God, Party Animals. Ugh. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's get to the news. No. All right, let's get to the news. We've been talking about stuff. Let's get to the news. Do a quick refresh. And we will see what is going on today and a little bit from yesterday. I know it's a little bit from yesterday. Here we go. Instead of Among Us, we're supposed to do Among Us on New Year's Eve. Anyway, that's up to Dermy and the others. I don't schedule that shit. Okay. SNL shocker: Bowen Yang to exit cast after Saturday's episode. I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Donald Trump got his name added to the Kennedy Center. It's now the Trump Kennedy Center. Well, considering he fixed it, I don't see a problem with that. Miley Cyrus, who looks like a ghoul, received some sort of reward. Don't care. Kevin Costner Christmas special set second airing on ABC. What? Kevin Costner Christmas special. Ugh. 7 burning questions about the Oscars moved to YouTube. We did mention that before the other day, and it's retarded. And what I love about that is that now we'll really get to see how truly useless the Oscars are and how really nobody watches it. Cynthia Erivo on Hanging Up Wicked. Nobody cares about that demon. James Cameron criticized the Oscars for Denis Villeneuve Dune snubs. You can play a Wars game or make movies people actually go to. Denis Villeneuve Dune movies suck. They're terrible movies. They're pretty, but they're terrible because they butcher the source material. Denis V can go fuck himself. So can James Cameron. Delroy Lindo, Devon Franklin, Sony Pictures Classics, and more among AAFCA Special Achievement honorees. Okay. All right, Delroy Lindo. He's a good actor. Always enjoyment stuff. Emma Stowe's Begonia sets Peacock streaming date amid Oscars buds. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Jimmy Kimmel fights tears on last show of 2025 as he thanks fans for pulling us out of the hole during this hard year. I'm crying. I'm sorry. The hard year. The millionaire who still got his millions had a hard year because he got called out for being an asshole. Boo fucking who? Break. Breadwinner trailer. Nate, I don't care. Movie, I don't care. Movie overhauls content leadership. Mubai. I don't know. BBC review finds no need to rewrite editing guidelines after Trump Paranorma error. Panorama error. Well, you're getting sued, so good luck with that. I don't know who that is, so I don't care. Leonardo DiCaprio produced 2001 doc among BFI awards as UK Global Screen Fund set to expand. That feels like a whole lot of crap to me. I'm pretty sure it did. Just another failed movie going right to streaming. I don't know what that is. Godzilla Studio Toho acquires UK's Anime Limited, forms European HQ in London. I guess that's a conversation for me and Dermy on Anime Odyssey. We will be talking Godzilla next month on Anime Odyssey, so I'm actually going to put this one aside, and we'll bring it up for conversation. So since we will be talking, TikTok Awards. There's a TikTok Awards. We really are in the end times. Hey there, stop moving. Hey there, Patriot. How you doing? Best Italian I know, and it's okay that you break spaghetti. He's a patriot, everybody. Dom H, the patriot. The greatest patriot of us all. Last Samurai Santa, we did that, the other day. We already knew that. We'll go a little farther since I missed stuff. Severin Star, Trammell Tillman, I don't know. Watch for Stallone isn't appearing in the Cliffhanger reboot because Cliffhanger was a bad movie and he probably wants to forget about it. This was a big deal yesterday. Sony bought Peanuts. They bought Peanuts for $457 million. That's significant. I mean, Peanuts is kind of, I won't say dead, but it's a dormant IP. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, it's a dormant IP. And I've seen some commentary on this, that Peanuts is a big deal in Japan. So if they're buying this to turn Snoopy to make a whole ad campaign for stuff with Sony products with Snoopy, that would make sense. It would make a lot of sense. But that's a big deal. Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, now owned by the Japanese. Funny but true. Labubu. I asked this a few weeks ago. What the fuck is Labubu? It's this tiny little thing. What the fuck? And I don't give a fuck if Macaulay Culkin says Die Hard's not a movie. Why the fuck do I care what Macaulay Culkin has to say? Why the fuck should I give a shit? And it's a faulty argument. It could also happen during St. Patrick's Day. Why would he be going to visit his family on St. Patrick's Day? I just destroyed Macaulay Culkin's entire argument. It wouldn't work because he wouldn't be going to visit his family for St. Patrick's Day, because St. Patrick's Day isn't really a holiday. It's just an excuse for people to get drunk and dye rivers green. So it doesn't work. They're buying Snoopy and Charlie Brown, Dom. Sony bought Peanuts. Snoopy and Charlie Brown. There it is. Now that's enough for this. Let's go on to IGN. Switch 2 dev says Nintendo has cheaper cartridges coming as alternative to game key cards, then backtracks, but either way, its title will now be a proper physical release. All right, listen, physical media. Let's do it. Jimmy Kimmel cries like a little bitch. Claire Obscure, Episode 33 fans are using the new photo mode to recreate memes, take action shots, and catch incredible hidden details. Have fun with it, boys and girls. Have fun with it. The AI slop Avengers Doomsday trailer leaks are hitting YouTube. I don't care about the AI slop. I don't even care about the real Avengers trailers. Eiji Aonuma hints the next Zelda game will be inspired by elements of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Is that a good thing? Zelda guys, is that a good thing? I feel like this is the wrong way to go. I feel like this is not the way to go for the Zelda franchise to use elements of Hyrule Warriors, which is essentially Dynasty Warriors beat 'em up. Somebody tell me. I am not a current day Zelda guy. I don't have as much investment as other people do. Paddington director Paul King tapped the helm the Labubu movie. Well, no thank you. Will the real Mr. House please stand up? Okay. I did my review of Fallout Season 2, Episode 1. I have no in-depth opinion about this. People are complaining that the Mr. House represented in the Fallout TV show is a caricature and not as nuanced. I cannot speak to that because I didn't play New Vegas. So I cannot speak to that. All I can talk about is what I see in the show. And so far, he just seems to be a bit of a supervillain. That's it. Total War, Warhammer 40K Dev wants all your favorites from the setting to eventually coexist in a vast galactic sandbox, and it might take a decade to get there. Okay. I don't like Total War games. As much as I enjoy a decent Warhammer game, I do not like Total War games. So I'm not on board with this. Honda car getting PlayStation 5 remote play. Why do we need to play our consoles in the car? Damn it. Again, the Macaulay Culkin shit, I already destroyed his argument. I destroyed his argument in 10 seconds. Destroyed it in 10 seconds. ScarJo will no longer star in Disney's live-action Tangled. We knew this. We knew this weeks ago. Terminator 2D No Fate has an amazing Easter egg only film buffs understand. Watching the action. I know people are apparently playing and enjoying this new No Fate game. But that game's, I think I saw it on, I think it was $40, $50. I'm sorry. No 2D side-scroller beat-em-up is worth $50 in today's market. I'm sorry. No. I don't care how good it is. Not that a game like that, which has at most maybe 3 or 4 hours of gameplay, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Bethesda reportedly prepping Starfield improvements, though fans give early peak suggestions. So early peak suggest this isn't Cyberpunk 2.0 scale update. Okay. YouTube finally shuts down two of the biggest fake movie trailer channels, scrubbing billions of views from the platform. Yep, I heard about that. Xbox's canceled Perfect Dark game had entire chapters of motion capture recorded and a doomed rescue plan to salvage a slimmed-down version. Don't care. Sony buys Peanuts. Already talked about that. Riot Games is reportedly going to give League of Legends a total overhaul. I don't care about League of Legends. I don't like that kind of gaming. I barely call it gaming. Archie Comics teases its strangest, most exciting reboot ever. Don't care. The MC trailer stuff. We'll go a little bit from stuff from yesterday since I wasn't here. Tomb Raider adds Jason Isaacs to its show, which isn't going to solve anything. Naughty Dog devs are doing mandatory overtime to get into the Galactic, the Heretic Prophet out. Talk about a game that's going to crash and burn immediately. Avengers YouTube trailer sparks backlash from fans over a desperate decision to bring back Chris Evans. As many say, move is disrespectful to Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson. I'm not going to open this door right now. We've talked about the desperation. It all reeks desperation. And I really want this to hurry up, arrive, and go away. It's so... All the leaks were true, apparently. All the leaks were true. I'm just so sick of this MCU crap. And the fact that they have to retcon their own garbage to try and save what's left of it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anything of interest here from yesterday? There is a new poster for the Odyssey with a spine on the back of a helmet. I don't get that. That's weird. Mark Hamill was crying about being Luke Skywalker. Another Monarch Legacy of Monsters spin-off show. Don't care. Didn't watch the first one. And and of course Sony and Tencent settled their Horizon Zero Dawn lawsuit. And a bunch of people getting on this Johnny Depp Christmas Carol stuff, which is another Christmas Carol to add to the things to watch. All right, so that's kind of it. All right, well, I think we're all caught up there. We talked about this last week. Catch up, Park Place. Catch up. That's last week's news. Disney developing live-action Gaston again, earlier in the week news. Disney Adventure World Loop will feature new music from Felipe Rambi. I don't know who that is, and I don't care. James Gunn says Batman is boring, claims he has a plan to fix him in the DCU. We'll investigate that on Sunday's Roundtable. We'll see if that's anything. DVC to introduces $500 resale transfer fee, reshaping market dynamics. What is DVC? I don't know what that is. And other crap. Percy Jackson 2 will be in Fortnite. Is Percy Jackson popular enough to warrant Fortnite? Is it? I wonder about that. We have to ask the Fortnite people. And also, James Cameron did cry about Trump. He actually, I believe he actually said Avatar is saving the world. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. That's the news. I'm sticking to. You guys consider that. Now, Kratos wants me to go over this article here from that I didn't know. So here we go. And then we'll get to Lord of War. Get to Lord of War. Okay. And here's the thing. Yeah, apparently also after History of the World, not a giant early numbers, but I'm still not going to sell Avatar short. It may have a weaker than expected opening, but it's fucking Avatar. It could rally next week during Christmas week and dump $600 million. It could. So I am not going to try and bet against it. I learned my lesson. All right, so let's take a look at this. How long is this? Oh my goodness. All right, so they're essentially going to want us to do the 25 best movies of 2025. Okay. Full disclosure, since I haven't seen every movie probably on this list, I don't know how judgmental I'm allowed to be. So we're do our best here. We'll just go right to it. Fantastic Four was not a good movie. It was a meh movie, and it was a financial disaster. So, and I mean, it wasn't. It had woke elements in it. It had agenda elements in it. But it wasn't a disaster. It wasn't a woke disaster. But it was just a poor movie. It was better than Superman, though, because it actually made sense. It had a better coherent story than Superman, even though the story was shit. So it shouldn't be on this list. Then again, what movie should be? Begonia. Again, for a movie that's so good, how come, as Jed pointed out earlier, how come it's going to streaming so fast? Huh? How come it's going to streaming so fast? Based on Save the Green Planet, a 20-year-old Korean movie. So it's a remake? Listen, I'm not a fan of Emma Stone. I'm not a fan of Emma Stone. And I know the movie essentially, they think she's an alien and they need her to admit it or something. It's really weird. And so it didn't do well. It's already going on streaming. Together, I've never even heard of this movie. Writer-director Michael Shanks. We like Michael Shanks. He's Daniel Jackson. We like Michael Shanks. So Michael Shanks wrote and directed Together. Smuggles a tense relationship drama inside a gooey body horror in his feature-length debut, Together, and what a debut it is. Well, without having seen it, I hope it's good because I like Michael Shanks. He's a great actor. And he has a ton of freaking range, so I agree that I hope this is true, that it's a good movie. I want Michael Shanks to do well, and his wife is super hot. Alexa Doig is still smoking hot, dude. The Mastermind. Okay, never heard of this one either. Well, you get when you cross Josh O'Connor's grave robber of a few words from La Chimera with his dirtbag tennis player from Challengers. Blah. Well, that would be J.B. Mooney, a hapless art thief at the center of Kelly Reichert's latest, The Mastermind. Restless, bored, and reluctant to do anything that might constitute being a good husband or father, J.B. decides to orchestrate a heist of 4 paintings by modernist Arthur Dove from his local small-town Massachusetts gallery. Well, that sounds positively boring. From characters and direct, I never even heard of this. Never even heard of this. Thunderbolts. No. MCU slop. No. I'll just say no. MCU slop. No. Oh, I'm surprised that Wicked for Good, which essentially has been panned by everybody. I'm sure Wicked for Good, it's a disaster. This thing is barely making money. In fact, I'm gonna look at the box office right now. Let's take a look real quick. I want to look at Wicked for Good real quick. How's it doing? Yeah, it hasn't made much more money from last week. International disaster. This movie's a disaster, and only the true diehards of Wicked liked it. Everybody else has rejected this movie. So no. No other choice. Park Chan-wook. This looks like a Korean movie. Lee Byung-hun stars as Yoo Soo. Those Korean names always give me a trip, dude. A dedicated worker at a paper factory who's abruptly laid off after 25 years of service. Mansu is so committed to his career, though, that when rejoining the industry, the old-fashioned way doesn't work out. He decides to stage a fake job opening and simply murder his competition. But Mansu's no action hero. He's hardly mentally or physically equipped for cold-blooded homicide, and that doesn't stop him from trying. I'm not into Korean cinema or Korean stuff, so I don't know how this. What are the criteria for these movies getting on here? I wonder. Predator, killer of killers. Seriously? A crap animation gets on here. Bullshit. F1. I didn't see it. Most people seem to like it. I might have even actually squeaked out a bit of a profit from its prolonged theater run. But I guess people have enjoyed it. Although I know Brad, who was really into F1, he didn't really like it that much. He said it was okay, but he complained about it a bit. But it seems like it was a solid movie, if a little bit unrealistic about the F1 thing. But Apple didn't make it to make money. They made it to get a deal for F1 on Apple TV. Friendship. On the moral alignments chart, one would rate Tim Robinson as a chaotic good. Oh, shut up trying to be nerdy. Shut up. Paul Rudd as lawful good, and Conor O'Malley as chaotic evil. Friendship is a laugh-out-loud funny, albeit highly stressful art house film about the unlikely bond that forms between a painfully awkward man and the guy that everyone generally likes. What's to be a typical buddy comedy quickly derails into a toxic tale of obsession, and the final shot of the film is one that will be stuck in your mind for a couple of days. Pass. I mean, I guess I sort of like Paul Rudd, but I don't think comedy exists anymore today. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Chainsaw Man. I'm not a fan of Chainsaw Man, but it did have success. I'm not interested in Chainsaw Man, but it did have success. Final Reckoning. Lot of divisive discussion over this. It's really not divisive. It's just divided commentary. I haven't seen it. In fact, I didn't even see the previous one. I'm so uninterested at this point in Mission Impossible that I just couldn't bring myself to be bothered. My mom did, though, and it took her watching Final Reckoning 2 times to decide that she likes it for what it is. Her words. She understands what it was doing and likes it for what it is. Kind of a quiet ending to a franchise that went on far longer than any of us expected. So there's that. But it was a financial failure, though. But the total financial failure. Naked Gun. I guess it deserves to be on here because it's a return to normalcy. Let's just do something dumb and stupid comedy, nothing without messaging. Good old slapstick. And there's nothing wrong with it. And people seem to enjoy it. It wasn't an all-timer, but people enjoyed it. So I guess it deserves to be on here. Wake Up Dead Man isn't even out yet. It just came out. How can you say it should be on here and it just came out and these movies all suck? Let's get right out there. All these movies suck. Bring Her Back. 3 years after filmmaking duo Michael and Danny Filippo made a name for themselves in the horror genre with a hit paranormal body horror Talk to Me, the pressure was on for their next project. However, Bring Her Back not only delivered on the scares, but also surprisingly took viewers on a very emotional journey. All right, horror movie. I can't, even if I could, I wouldn't because I'm not into horror. So I can't judge this one whether or not it deserves to be on here. I never heard of the first one. All right, this deserves to be higher. This deserves to be higher. This is a truly all right. It deserves to be higher. It should be in the top 5 because it's a movie that requires homework, but it's good homework and it's satisfying and it's the beginning of a final trilogy. So this is an incredible movie. I would put it more in the top 5, and it's made they made this on $50 million and have made so much money for Sony. This is probably the most financially successful movie of the year. Most financially successful movie of the year, hands down. Hands down with what it cost to make and what it brought in. Frankenstein. Didn't see it, but a lot of people said it was good. A lot of people said it was good if it didn't create unhealthy thirst desires for the monster. I don't know if it's better. They're going to put it above this because it's art. Guillermo del Toro's art and anime is not art. That kind of bullshit. Really? You're putting K-pop Demon Hunters above Demon Slayer? Objectively, I said it was a fine movie, but it is not as good. It is not as good as Demon Slayer. I can say that. It's not. It's not. It's just not. Oh, this piece of shit? This piece of shit which everybody hated? They were all so pumped for this and they hated it? Oh, fuck off. Gotta blow my nose again. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Putting these two movies above this, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. This is recency bias. And this is cope. They wanted this movie to be something that it wasn't, apparently. Oh, you go fuck yourself. You go right ahead and fuck yourself in your ear. Badlands? Badlands, this piece of shit? You put this above Demon Slayer? K-pop Demon Hunters is better than this piece of shit. K-pop Demon Hunters is better than this piece of shit. This fake Predator movie. Fuck that. A long walk be the long walk that nobody walked to see? Long walk that nobody cared about? How could that be? Nobody cared about this movie. Fuck off. Well, it's okay. A lot of people, this deserves to be up here from what I hear. I don't watch this stuff, but people say this deserves to be up here. It hit home, hit all the right points. So this deserves to be up here. Of course, Commie Marxist the movie is in the top 3. Of course. Of course. Go fuck yourselves. People can make an argument saying they deserve to be there. I didn't see it. I don't care about this shit. I don't care what Ryan Coogler fucking does. Oh, fuck you! Fuck you. Suck the dicks. Suck all the dicks. Most protected movie ever. Movie of total nonsense. This is why he did this. Look at this. This is exactly why he did this. He knew this was coming. You bastard. This list is so bad. This proves this person doesn't know shit. Who wrote this? No, who did this? This list? Yeah, up, home. Thank you. Jordan Farley. Jordan Farley, managing editor of Games Radar, overseeing. Yeah, you're full of shit, dude. You're full of shit. I've taken shits that are probably older than you. Give me a break. What a piece of fucking crap this is. Superman, best movie in 2025, most protected movie ever. Didn't make any money. Jeez. Oh, this is why I hate lists. I don't like to make lists myself because I know any list I make is subjective. Lists are subjective. And this is why when we did Devil's Show Get Ranked, it was fun because everything about it is subjective and we're all going to fight over subjectivity. Lists are totally subjective, which is why I don't make top 10 lists of stuff. Because you guys don't care what my subjective opinion is. You don't, because you're going to disagree with a lot of it. I know you are. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Okay. Blow my nose again, and then we'll get to Lord of War. Okay. All right. Let me I didn't prepare some. Give me 1 second. I don't have no, wrong movie. Wrong movie. Wrong movie. Wrong movie. Okay, give me 1 second. I didn't have a screen cap prepared for this. Let me go to, I think I know which one I want to do here. Actually, let me go from here. Hold on 1 second. I want to get the perfect, I want to get a good screen cap for this. I want, maybe that's not it. Where is it? All right. You know what? I'll go with this one. I'll go with this one. It's not the one I wanted. We'll go with this one. We'll go with this one. Okay. So, here we go. You want to read the paragraph? All right. I'll bring that. All right. You paid for it. I'll bring it back up. Did I kill it? Did I kill the article? Let me bring it back up. All right. So I got no mad. I should have read it. That's my fault. I should have read that. I got so angry at seeing it that I lost it. Let me show all history. Let me bring it back up. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what this idiot says about Superman. Okay. Let me have a drink, please. Okay. 2025 was the year that superhero cinema was finally dethroned after more than a decade of box office domination. But there was something perfect about the fact that the original all-American comic book hero offered hope for the future. A movie that had to shoulder the weight of the nascent DCU, actually DCEU. No, nascent DC. Okay, y'all, I see what he's saying there. The nascent DCU, as well as work on its own terms. James Gunn's high-pressure Superman reboot didn't just succeed, it soared. I could smell James Gunn's cock on his breath. Featuring a vibrant soups for a new generation, David Cornswallott's fundamentally optimistic Kryptonian embodied the film's radical and resonant ethos. Kindness, maybe that's the real punk rock. Fucking hate that line. Everybody hates that line. Gunn's fingerprints are booger-stained fingerprints, as Dre would put it. Booger-stained fingerprints were all over it. Gonzo action, misanthropic anti-heroes somehow sat comfortably alongside unshamed sentimentality. But after 11 standalone Superman movies, what impressed the most was that Gunn's take on the big blue Boy Scout felt entirely fresh. Yeah, it felt wrong. You know what? Why don't you tell me? You know what cock smells like somehow, don't you? I still have to be mean to you. Impressively juggling around a dozen significant supporting characters, including Edie Gathegi's standout Mr. Terrific. This was a Mr. Terrific movie. Just remember that. And Rachel Brosnahan's really nice titted Lois Lane. Cornswallow's Superman met his match in Nicholas Holt's perpetually indignant Brainiac without the capital B, Lex Luthor. No, I think all the performances were shit. I thought Cornswallow's Superman was pathetic, and I thought Holt's Lex Luthor was a whiny crybaby bitch. Nothing megalomaniac or supervillainy about him. Shorn of Hackman's goofball edge, Holt's Luthor introduced danger. There's no danger. Hey, fuck this shit. At stakes, but to a typically spool-proof hero. Unafraid to make provocative changes, not the least turning Superman's parents into tyrants. Yeah, that still hasn't gone over well. And fully embracing the stranger side of the comics. No, baby. From the jump, Superman was exactly the kind of bold, confident swing that superhero cinema had been crying out for after years of stale sequels, safe bets, and failed experiments. No, this is a failed experiment. This movie is a failed experiment. It didn't make any money. It doesn't have a solid fan base. Has a bunch of screeching stands online and a bunch of people who live in denial and suffer serious cognitive dissonance about this. If Superman is anything to go by, the future DC is in very safe hands. No, it isn't. Oh, because we did have reports of the Supergirl test screenings this week, and it didn't go so well. It went okay. It went okay. In fact, I have that right here. I have it. We have the breakdown of that. I was going to save this for Sunday, but you know what? Since it's come up, the safe hands, the greatness is coming. Here's what you have to look forward to in Supergirl. All right, here's what you're looking forward to in Supergirl right here. Roughly 2 hours, 5 minutes. That's about probably 40 minutes too long, if you ask me. Feedback was not great, but it wasn't a bad film. Cope. Translation. It's kind of probably pretty boring. Some scenes shined a lot more than others. Millie is praised for acting the role. Yeah, I'll believe that when I fucking see it. Lobo has 2 fights. That means Dre was probably right. He's going to probably be in this for 10 minutes or less. And the villain is underwhelming. Yeah, good hands. The future is bright. The future is dog shit in this movie. As I said, 350 to 450 is its ceiling. I called it. I'm sticking to it. Bullshit. Complete and total bullshit. Now, on something that isn't bullshit. It isn't bullshit. Once again, we are now going to do another chat made me watch this reviews. Today we are going to talk the Nick Cage movie, Lord of War. Made, I believe it was 2005. I think it was made 2005. Nick Cage does what Nick Cage does. He gives a full-throated 110% performance. It's Nick Cage. Say what you will, Nick Cage always gives everything into the role he's given. Does it every time. And this was a good movie. It's not a movie I'm particularly going to say I loved, but I feel like it was just over. It was about a little over 2 hours. I think it was a little over 2 hours. Let me look real quick. It's no, it's exactly 2 hours. It's 2 hours long. 2 hours long. It's about, I feel like it's 20 minutes too long. But here's the thing. This is a true story of the gunrunner Yuri, whatever his last name was. It's the true story, an adaptation of his life, how he became the most notorious, horrible gunrunner of the world. And the movie opens with a great line. I'm not, and Nick Cage narrates the entire movie, which is really interesting. He basically narrates the entire thing, and that's a really good choice. A first-person omniscient narration of it. Opening line. I'm not going to try and convince you I'm a good guy or anything I did was great. I'm just going to tell you what happened. And what happened is this guy has no fucking, he has barely a soul. Barely a soul. Essentially, immigrants from Ukraine, his family pretends to be Jewish. Who wouldn't want to pretend to be Jewish? I mean, hey, look, we're great. Pretends to be Jewish, but then realizes what's he going to do with his life. Fictional story based on his life, but these events happened. The events happened. I mean, the sales. I mean, they have the evidence that links to all the sales, but still, it's an interesting take on the fact that this guy who's a Ukrainian immigrant decides that he wants to sell guns because there's money in it. He gets blown away almost when he sees a bunch of Russian mobsters have a gunfight one day, and he realizes he's fascinated by guns and wants to sell guns and gets into the gun running business, gun arms dealing. And we're not going to roll through the whole movie, but the bullet points are: it's a guy who is he has a cloud level obsession with a woman that in all likelihood will never touch his penis until he literally buys her attention later on in his life. But it shows the dark and dirty, disgusting world of arms dealing. But this guy in particular, who essentially destroys everything he touches. He destroys his brother, turns him into a coke addict, brings shame to his family, eventually gets the girl of his dreams while fucking around all over the place. I mean, very, very unfaithful man. And it is a story of getting everything you want, pissing it all away, and apparently it's on some level being okay with it. Because throughout the whole story, you go through all his misadventures. I mean, it has a really good cast in it. Nick Cage, Ian Holm, Ethan Hawke, a couple other guys who I know, but I couldn't name if I tried. Of course, Jared Leto, the great Jared Leto. Jared Leto plays the younger brother who is his business partner originally, but then after one particular deal where they get paid in cocaine instead of money, he turns his brother into a coke fiend and basically signs his life away. And what happens is he goes through all these deals and he just gets worse and worse. He ends up funding the wars of one of the worst African warlords in history, who basically is the guy who started the child soldier shit in Africa. And it was a real funny scene. There's one scene where he's first making the deal with Batista. I think it was Andre Batista, I think is the warlord's name. And he gets paid in blood diamonds, but also gets rewarded. Goes back to his room, and these two sexy model-like chicks are there. And I remember I got up to do a coughing fit when watching this. And as I did it, I said, oh, there's two girls with a side of AIDS. And then seconds later, I turned the movie back on. He says, now, in a country where 4 out of 5 people have AIDS, it was really hard for me to turn down these two beautiful women. And there it was. So yeah, AIDS. And later in the movie, when his shit's going real bad for him and he goes on a coke bender of his own, he ends up in a coke fugue and wakes up fucking an African prostitute. And he's trying to say, do you have AIDS? You don't have AIDS, do you? So it's wild. It's wild. Now, we don't know if that actually happened or not, because clearly the guy didn't die of AIDS, so we don't know if he did that, but whatever. But the crazy adventures of working with the worst people in the world. And there's also a line of because his original competition is Ian Holm, whose character's name I don't forget. And Ian Holm is a gun runner, but he has no allegiance to anybody in terms of he doesn't do it for causes. Neither does Nick Cage's, but there's a difference. Ian Holm does it to probably make sure all these people kill each other. Because at one point he says, you sold arms with the Iranians and the Iraqis on the Iran-Iraq war. You did? That's great. And he said, and Ian Holmes' character's response is, do you ever think for a second that I wanted neither one to win? I wanted them both to kill each other. And now I got to blow my nose again. Excuse me. So it shows you that Ian Holm treated it as sort of more of a business and with little pleasure. But later on, when Yuri's on top and Ian Holm is now his weaker competition, he wants to go in business with him, even though he rejected him years before. Nick Cage says to him, it was one line that was really fascinating to me. He starts detailing all the types of deals he's done and how he's a horrible person, and he's still the same horrible person Ian Holm didn't want to do business with a decade before. And he says to him, you really haven't reached the depths of depravity, not the right words, I'm paraphrasing here, until you've sold guns to your own countrymen to kill each other. And it pairs with a line later on when his wife finds out that he's a gun runner, because she knew he did shit. She didn't ask questions until Ethan Hawke, the persistent Interpol cop, finally loops her in. She says to him, "Why are you doing this?" Yukasabi said, "It's about the money." He says, "No, it's not about the money. I'm just good at it." So this character Yuri does this not for fame or glory. He does it because he's good at it and he has fun with it. And it's fascinating. And then it all boils down to the fact that eventually he does get busted because his wife unintentionally leads the Interpol to his crate black site where he keeps all his information and records. And Ethan Hawke, who is described as basically a Boy Scout cop, he doesn't want anything except to do what's right. Because he has moments where he could have Nick Cage killed, and he does. He says, "We're not going to do this because we know it's wrong." That kind of stuff. He's like the good guy. And he has him in there, and he says, "I've got you cold, got all your records, you're going to go to jail." And Nick Cage says this, and this is right after the last deal has gone bust, where Yuri got his brother killed, and his family's disowned him, his wife and son have left him. He has nothing. He says, "I live in hell already. I've been disowned. My brother's dead. My family disowned me. My wife and son have left me. All I have is this now. So no matter what you say, what you think is going to happen, I'm already in hell." That's why I said he has a little bit of a soul, because he suffers the pain of this, but he still finds joy in doing it, because then he says, and of course the movie itself is also a statement on the corruption of the world, because in the speech he says, now he tells Ethan Hawke's cop here's how it's going to work. Enjoy your moment, because in about 5 seconds there's going to be a knock at the door, and there's going to be a man outside who outranks you. It's a colonel that Yuri's done business with since the beginning, a colonel in the U.S. Army. And essentially, he tells him, "I'm going to walk out of here. You know why? Because I also do business for the U.S. government. I move shit that they can't move, that they don't want their fingerprints on. They don't want blood on their hands. So at the moment, they need me more than they need you. You're going to get your commendation and all that stuff, but I'm going to walk out of here, and I'm not going to serve a moment of prison time because they want me selling these guns to keep their proxy wars going, essentially." And that's what happens. He got busted. They called it, I believe the term was a catalog of death, was what his record showed. But he walked. He continued to do his business. I don't know if he eventually it didn't say whether or not he went to prison, because this takes place in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. So that's when this takes place. So I don't know if 20 years later now he has gotten his comeuppance or not. But yeah, do it because, and then of course the final statement of the movie is that the 5 biggest gun runners, the arms dealers of the world, are the UN's National Security Council of America, Britain, France, China, and Russia. That those 5 countries sell the most guns in the world, and they run the UN. The UN, now listen, I don't know if they intended to say this, but the UN is a corrupt organization anyway. It's corrupt from top to bottom, always has been. Don't try to tell me, oh, these people run the UN, the supposing force for good in the world. The UN is shit. Fuck the UN. But it's a statement on government. This is 2005. It's during it's right after it's right after the Bush re-election stuff. So there's all kinds of political commentary laced into this here and there. But it's a well-made movie. It's interesting. Of course, most of it's fictional. We don't know what goes on. I doubt they sat this guy down and got details in life, but it was interesting. I always enjoy a good Nick Cage performance, and it was a decent 2 hours. I wish it'd been a little shorter. I mean, I was lying down most of it. Oh, he did get arrested. Oh, okay, he did. Oh, okay, so he got arrested. Okay. Oh shit! You're right. He got traded for the WNBA player. Yeah. You're right. I'd forgotten about that. I had forgot about that. You're right. You're right. You know that stuff seen cataloged, but listed as unimportant information. Yeah, the one that they said she is suffering there for her lesbian wife, and she deserved to be in prison. She's a dumb bitch. But bad trade, indeed, total bad trade. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that. Thank you Kratos and Jed for reminding me of that. Anyway, so there it is. Decent movie, well made, well shot. Nick Cage gives a good performance, and I recommend you should see it at least once. Probably should see it. She is a man. I still hold she is a man. Post-op. Anyway, all right, guys, that's another chat made me watch this reviews. Not a rant or breakdown. I think the next one, when we do the Grinch Who Stole Christmas Jim Carrey version, you're probably going to get a bit more of a rant out of me on that one, because that thing's I don't know about that movie. I've never seen it. I've seen the original Grinch stuff, just never that one. But I have a feeling I'm not going to like it. All right, we've gone a bit of overtime today because we had a lot to catch up on. I had a lot to talk about. You guys were great today. Thank you all for being here. So here's what the day looks like. After this, I'm going to do my afternoon stuff. I'm gonna bake myself some cookies, make myself feel better. I'm gonna eat my worries away. No, it's the holiday. I'm making some cookies because it's the holiday. Then tonight we've got Dermy karaoke on Ballbusters, so join us for that. Where for every $20, you make Dermy sing a Christmas song you want. You want that? No, not gonna happen. So we got Dermy karaoke tonight. $20 makes Dermy sing your favorite Christmas songs. Then tomorrow night, Jen and I will be. You already prepaid for. Yeah, I guess you did. Yeah, listen, you worked it out with Dermy. So we've got Dermy karaoke night tomorrow. Jen and I will be discussing the Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know. Well, I kind of do know. I did see what popped up on my Steam last night, so I don't know what co-op play will be tomorrow night, but I kind of have a feeling what I'll be forced into now. Secondly, we've got roundtable, last roundtable of the year, Christmas edition tomorrow Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to have some talks. I don't know what the show's going to be yet because my week feels out of sorts right now. I'll do my best. Definitely Avatar. Avatar will be top of discussion. Then, of course, Monday, we've got Doctor Who Cares reviews, War Between Land and Sea, episodes 5 and 6. And then, of course, we'll be back for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is Christmas Day. So I'll be putting a poll up next week to decide if you guys want me to do a stream, but I'll leave that till Monday. I'll put that up on Monday. And then, of course, we will be back normal on Friday because Friday is a normal day. So we'll be back on Friday for the Daily Dive, the Double Ds. You guys have been great today. Thank you all for being here. Hit that like button. It was a good week. We had some. The channel grew a little bit. Had some new subs. If you're watching this and you're a new sub, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys. No, I didn't accept it. I just saw the email. I'm not gonna reject something. Somebody spends money. I'm not gonna reject it. I mean, you guys are gonna make me play it. I didn't accept it. I won't reject it, because it's a gift. Gifts are to be accepted. So we'll be back. I just lost my anyway. I'm saying thank you to guys. Thank you to guys for naming. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys tonight on Ball Busters. Until then, and if I don't see you before next week, Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year.